Hello! Welcome back to Tales and Tales with Brittany. Today we're going to be playing my TBR game, Cats on a Bookshelf, for the month of September. Mr. Bean does not want to play, but that's okay. Go be free. Don't need to chew on that. No thank you, sir. No thank you, sir. Since this is my second time playing Cats on a Bookshelf, I have brought along this lovely little TBR jar. It has the names of series I'm in the middle of, along with a few different standalones I am interested in. The goal is that if I don't complete my TBR from the previous month, then I have to draw a book or a series out of this jar that I'll have to read in the next month. At this point in the month, I have only finished 2 of my 7 books. For my August TBR, I have finished Smoke in the Sun, as well as The Orc and the Innkeeper. I have started The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig and Mirror Sight by Kristen Britton, and I also just started The League of Gentlewomen Witches by India Holton. I do have plans to hopefully both start Enchantra and Wild Love in the next week or so, but I'm not too sure if I will complete everything by the end of the month. So let's draw a name for a series just in case I do manage to not finish everything by September 1st. Sadly, I don't have a cat-shaped jar, so this little fox will have to do. Let's see. We have Pride and Prejudice. So I have tried to read Pride and Prejudice probably a good 5 times. I really love the story. I don't know if there is just nothing that's making me want to continue because I have watched and enjoyed the movie. There are, of course, a lot of details that are in the book that are not in the movie. Overall, I think the furthest I've gotten is about 70% into the book, and then I've kind of trailed off. So we'll definitely see if the 6th attempt is the charm. Mr. Bean's playing with garbage. Stop it. Yeah, I know. We have our little player token here, Mr. Bean looking all dapper. Cats on a Bookshelf, September 2025, roll number 1. We have a 2. Which is a medium prompt of a red cover. So for my first roll, I rolled a book with a red cover. I have decided to continue on in a series that I started last year and overall enjoyed. So I will be reading Blood and Honey by Shelby Maroon. Could be pronouncing that last name wrong, I do apologize. This is the second book in the Serpent and Dove trilogy. Serpent and Dove followed a witch and a witch hunter who are forced into a marriage of convenience. It takes place in kind of a magical alternative France. I really enjoyed the first book. Our female main character, she's very feisty. She's running from her past where she was a failed sacrifice for a major event to occur. The male main character is a bit more of a paladin. He's a little bit more chaste and a little bit more reformed, whereas she's a little bit rough around the edges. I'm excited to see how things continue on in the series with our second book. It has been a little bit of time since I read Serpent and Dove. I did read it in May 2024, so excited to continue on in this series, especially as we are entering into spooky season, and having a little bit more of a supernatural romantasy will be fun. Cats on a Bookshelf, roll number 2. We have a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is another medium prompt of BIPOC author or BIPOC representation. My second roll, I rolled a book that either has a BIPOC author or a book with BIPOC representation. I have decided to read Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This book is a Mayan-based historical fantasy, so let's read a little bit of the synopsis. This book's blurb is, the Mayan god of death sends a young woman on a harrowing, life-changing journey in this one-of-a-kind fairy tale inspired by Mexican folklore. Excited to be reading this during the month of September because from September 15th to October 15th, it's National Hispanic Heritage Month. Cats on a Bookshelf roll number 3. Oh, we have a 3. 1, 2, 3. We have a hard prompt of finish a series. Oh goodness. My third roll got us a finish a series. I've decided to read and finish the Ruby Red trilogy by reading Emerald Green by Kirsten Gier. This book follows 2 teenage time travelers as they are traveling through time in order to collect the blood of previous family members who had the ability to travel through time in order to complete what's called, I believe, this chromosphere. But drama happens, there's been a twist in the story, and they discover that the people that are overseeing their time travel and choosing when they travel to might be not telling them the truth. There might be a little bit of an internal conspiracy amongst the time travelers. That was definitely a terrible summary, but I am excited to continue on in the series. Cats on a Bookshelf roll number 4. We have a 3. 1, 2, 3. We have Let's Play a Game. Book that matches your outfit. So for my 4th roll, I got Let's Play a Game, and I got a book that matches your current outfit. I will say, when I was filming my rolls, I was wearing a different outfit. I was wearing this adorable Cactus Cutie ghost shirt from Summerween 2025. So because of this, because of the ghosts and having it being a little bit more spoopy, I have decided to continue on in the Darcy Coates Gravekeeper series by reading The Twisted Dead. Do I think the series is kind of spoopy? Not necessarily, but it does give me cozy horror vibes. And with us approaching the fall and spooky season, I wanted to continue on in this series. This series follows our main character, Kira. She has the ability to talk to ghosts very much in a ghost whisperer kind of vibes, but she also has amnesia and she has no idea who she is or where she came from. There's definitely a lot of things that she ends up knowing how to do that she can't remember why she even knows how to do it, but essentially she gets a job so that she can stay where she is in this small town on the grounds of essentially a graveyard. She stays in the groundskeeper cottage, and she gets the job of having to help various ghosts try to cross over into the next world, kind of trying to finish their unfinished business and move on. So the series kind of also follows as she's trying to discover a little bit more information, because there seems to be a group of people that are after her and seem to know who she is, probably trying to harness her powers for evil, but we will definitely see what is shown as we read along in The Twisted Dead. Cats on a Bookshelf roll number 5. We have a 1. Which brings us to another hard prompt. A book that scares you. My 5th roll was a book that scares you. So I am a member of Book with Lexie's Patreon, and she is a big thriller and horror reader, and she seems to be determined to make me into a horror reader. I very much am not a horror movie kind of person. So kind of my big recommendation that I got from her, along with multiple other members, is the audiobook for The Honeys by Ryan Lalsala. Don't know too much about this book, but it sounds like it's overall well enjoyable, and she felt that it was, at least for me, a good more starting point to enter into a little bit more of reading horror. The book is pitched as a twisted and tantalizing horror novel set amidst the bucolic splendor of a secluded summer retreat. So it says that Mars has always been the lesser twin, the shadow of his sister Caroline's radiance, but when Caroline dies under horrific circumstances, Mars is propelled to learn all he can about his once inseparable sister who'd grown tragically distant. Mars's gender fluidity means he is often excluded from the traditions and expectations of his politically connected family. This includes attendance at the prestigious Aspen Conservancy Summer Academy, where his sister poured so much of her time. But with his grief still fresh, he insists on attending in her place. What Mars finds is a bucolic, I don't even know what that word is. What Mars finds is a bucolic fairy tale not meant for him. Folksy charm and sun-drenched festivities camouflage old-fashioned gender roles and toxic preparatory rigor. Mars seeks out his sister's best friends, a group of girls dubbed the Honeys, named for the beehives they maintain behind their cabin. They are beautiful and terrifying, and Mars is certain they're connected to Caroline's death. But the longer he stays at Aspen, the more the sweet mountain breezes give way to hints of decay. Mars's memories begin to falter, bleached beneath the relentless summer sun. Something is hunting him in broad daylight, toying with his mind. If Mars can't find it soon, it will eat him alive. Well, that seems really interesting. It does sound like the perfect way to end off summer, going into kind of the fall, as it is a little of a spooky horror that is taking place at a summer retreat. Cats on a Bookshelf roll number 6. We have another one, which brings us to Kitten Mischief and Let's Play a Game. So let's start with the Kitten Mischief. Your kitten heard you wake up in the middle of the night and is demanding to be fed now. Go back one space. Okay. But we also have to play a game for the next space. Random color generator combined with going back one space, a hard prompt of a double easy prompt. Oh goodness, we are just stacking prompts here. Of graphic novel or manga that is an alien, monster, or paranormal romance that also fits a random color generator. This is going to be quite difficult and is definitely going to cause me to probably start a series, that's for sure. Well, this next roll was fun because not only did I land on Kitten Mischief, I also got Let's Play a Game of a random color generator. So after going back a space and drawing a double easy prompt, I found out that I have to read a graphic novel or a manga that is an alien, monster, or paranormal romance. So this is going to be fun. So I enlisted the help of my friends Nat and Sherry, who are much bigger graphic novel and manga readers than I am, to compile a list of books for me to potentially try. So let's go and do a random color generator and see if we can find a color that is going to fit with one of these manga covers. So perfect. So I have pulled up a random color generator, as you can see right here. So we are going to go 3, 2, 1, generate. Perfect. So it looks like the random color generator has chosen me a cover that is kind of primarily stone gray or includes stone gray. I'm probably going to look and see if any of these covers end up being primarily gray. So let's have a look at my Canva documents. So looking at this list, nothing is particularly jumping out at me as being particularly stone gray in color. My gut reaction is kind of looking over towards Blackbird. That seems to be the cover that kind of has the most gray in it, with with it being quite a gray background. Definitely darker shades of gray on some of the other covers, but I would kind of classify that more as being kind of more of attempting to be more of a pale black, or even kind of shading on areas of white. So it looks like we're going to be reading Blackbird. Don't actually know too much about Blackbird, so let us see. He loves her blood, but does he love her? There is a world of myth and magic that intersects ours, and only a special few can see it. Misao Harada is one such person, and she wants nothing to do with the magical realms. She just wants to have a normal high school life and maybe get a boyfriend. All that suddenly changes one day when Misao is attacked by a demon. Her childhood friend Kyo suddenly returns to save her and tends to her cuts with his tongue. It turns out Misao is the bride of a prophecy, whose blood gives power to the demon clan who claims her. But most demons want to keep her power for themselves by eating her. Now Misao is just trying to stay alive and decide if she likes it when Kyo licks her wounds. Well, that looks like it's going to be an interesting time. Cats on a Bookshelf, roll number 7. Another one, which brings us back to Kitten Mischief and another Let's Play a Game. So let's see. Your kitten has decided to play hide and seek. Quick, find them. Roll a d20 and read a book that matches. We have a d20 here. $19, which means a book that is 300 pages. Whew, that is a relief. But also a book that's 900 pages, but we have to play a game. First line challenge. So for our next rule, we landed on both a Let's Play the Game and Kitten Mischief. So our Kitten Mischief was to roll a d20 and to choose a book that falls within the range of pages for that number. So I did roll a 19, and that did give us a book with 300 pages, or approximately. I take this as about 300 to 399, any book that kind of falls in the 300 time frame. For our game, we got a first line challenge. So I have selected 4 books that Books with Lexie has rated 5 stars, at least on Goodreads. They are all horror books, so let's go along and read the first line of them. I don't own any of the books, so I do have all of their samples kind of pulled up on Amazon, so I can read kind of the first line of the chapter. So our first book is We Sold Our Souls by Grady Hendrix. Chris sat in the basement, hunched over her guitar, trying to play the beginning of Black Sabbath's Iron Man. Next we have Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. Chapter 1 now, Veru Peace and Rehabilitation Tower, Earth 2149. My head is throbbing again. A white-hot line of pain from the back of my skull down to the right side of my jaw, and a dead man is signaling me from across the common room. That's very interesting. It has been a little while since I have read something that's a bit more science fiction. Next we have The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. I have actually not read any books by T. Kingfisher. I have heard some pretty good things from their writing, that it kind of ranges from either kind of some bit more fantasy based. This one is definitely a bit more horror based. So chapter 1, nobody ever believes me when I tell them my Uncle Earl owns a museum. My fourth option is Gallows Hills by Darcy Coates. Chapter 1, the casket lids remain closed for the funeral. Ooh. These are all great first lines. I don't know if this is because my friend Nat thinks I will be interested in this and I'm kind of feeling a little bit more prone to kind of reading more of Darcy Coates, but I am going to go with Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates. Cats on the Bookshelf, I think roll number 8. Come on, give me a good number. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are done the game, thank goodness. This game is definitely doing me dirty. So we do have our 7 choices for Cats on the Bookshelf. We have Blood and Honey for a red cover. We have Gods of Jade and Shadow for a BIPOC author or BIPOC representation. We have Emerald Green for finishing a series. We have The Twisted Dead for a book that matches your outfit. Not this outfit but the outfit I was wearing at the time. We have The Honeys for a book that scares you. For a graphic novel that is an alien, monster, paranormal romance that happened to have Stone Gray on the cover, I am choosing to read Blackbird. And for the first line challenge for a book that also happens to be 300 pages, I have chosen Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates. Thank you so much for joining me. I had so much fun choosing my September TBR using my TBR game. I hope you have a wonderful day, whether it's morning, noon, or night, and I hope your next read is a 5-star. Bye! How is it September already?